Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to the Indoor Mixed Championship of Latvia, where we see a Pool X action of Salaspils against Ventspils. Probably contending for the top spot, while Saku have not had their say just yet in these games. However, this is going to be one of the... probably a finals preview. We will see, of course, how it's going to go for the rest of the tournament. But the first point is a clean hold for Ventspils, and Gudnaga Pastore with the goal there. And a nice upline throw by Marcis Kudra. 1-0 for Ventspils. Ventspils have a few interesting pickups. Who were normally playing for Salaspils. Didis Malderis and Karlis Mednis played, I think last season both of them played for Salaspils most of the season. However, this year they are making a switch to Ventspils and playing more as in their pickup roles. Salaspils though, their usual suspects, so Betmanis with the disc and coast to coast to Arvids Žanis Karklinš. Of course, none other than great connection, great chemistry between the two of them over the years, and nice coast-to-coast pass, zone-to-zone, for a nice equalizing score of 1-1. Can tell you a little bit about the format of this tournament. The first place on every pool, so we got two pools of 4 teams. The first team of every pool is going to go straight to the semifinals. Second and third places are going to play for crossovers for that second spot in the semifinals, and the fourth place will be waiting the losers of the crossovers to decide for basically the low semifinal to decide who's going to play for 5th and 6th and 7th and 8th. We see Ventspils on their offense now. Skudra to Pastore with a hammer into the end zone for Eriks Podgurskis with a nice bang fingers. He was looking for celebration from Pastore, but I hope they're gonna get it figured out until the end of this tournament, until the end of this weekend. And nice hammer from Pastore into the end zone. And she is now getting ready to pull, so we are of course playing normal mixed, somewhat normal with 5 people, so rotation of 2 and 3 depending on the gender, of course, and we're playing with the ratio rule A, or ABBA as it is known. Karklinš with the disc now. Good fake, not given, faking lefty, now advancing to Gasina going back to Jurgenssons, to Karklinš on the near sideline, fakes a hammer, fakes a flick, not given, goes to his twin sister Orlovska, was calling a contact, but no real stoppage, back to Jurgenssons, now Karklinš once again, and this time the flick is given to Orlovska, and Orlovska under loads of pressure from Webere Landmane on basically every touch of Orlovska, but looks like no harm done. Hopefully it's not going to escalate anywhere further. And it's 2-2, so far clean holds by all of the teams, no turnovers in this game. Should be an exciting one. Pull is up. So far, looks like Ventspils are working with 3 handlers, and Dudinia has left the handling space, and now whoa, difficult blade to read from Marcis Kudra to Gudnaga Pastore. Once again, connecting for another point, and another clean hold. Very effective point for Ventspils, not spending a lot of time on this particular point. Nice and clean, nice and effective. And I think everybody touched the disc on that previous point. So nice to see great distribution among all the players. Malderis was the pull. Going to be fielded by Betmanis, and it's going to be a brick. So a little bit too high, a little bit too long. And that's going to get checked in by Budinch to Jurgensons. Jurgensons to Karklinch. Taking a blade, but goes back to unmarked Betmanis. Back to Karklinch once again. So far, only male matching players are touching the disc and into the end zone. Whoa! And Jurgensons is saved by Helena Orlovska in the end zone. Nice bladey hammer. Was probably meant for, I'm not actually sure who it was meant for. I did see the Jurgensons cut, but I did not see Orlovska just standing patiently in the back of the end zone waiting for that disc. But yeah, nice and easy reception for her. And yeah, another point for the Karklinch-Orlovska twins. Karklinch with the pull. Mikulica gonna get us started with a swing at the very back of the end zone. Now to Skudra. Surveying options, but nothing really. And Mikulica once again getting activated. Back to Skudra. And Podgurskis now. Looking for options, and to Malderis near the end zone, not quite in. And Skudra with the point. So he's not only on the throwing side of things, but also on the receiving end of the point. So no turnovers in this game. Still no turnovers, and Ventspils are virtually ahead by the virtue of the flip. But we will see, of course, how the game is going to progress. If you haven't seen the previous game, absolutely recommend it to you, and if the Latvian commentary is more your jam, then I definitely recommend you to watch the previous game between Valmiera and Ogre. Absolute thriller, very exciting. Not universe point, but it was very, very close to it. This game, though, I think have all the promises of being an exciting one, and look at that high grab by Karklinch and a nice and easy pass to his twin sister, another twin point, Karklinch to Orlovska. And another clean hold for Salaspils. So 4-4, 0 turnovers, only clean holds. Ansagasina getting ready to pull. Female matching point. Gonna be fielded by Podgurskis. Three handlers once again. Dudine with the disc. Mikulica is available, but Dudine goes to the end zone for Podgurskis. And another great point for them, as there were no cuts available. Podgurskis just decided that, you know what, I'm just going to go to the end zone. Why not? I trust my thrower, and yeah, great trust for him. Dudina absolutely delivered with that beautiful arcing throw into the end zone for a 5-4 lead for Ventspils. But we're still on serve. Still no turnovers in this game. Who's going to get the first turnover blood? Malderis with the pull. Arste gonna field that. Betmanis. Apologies, that was Podemo, of course. Betmanis to Karklinch. Karklinch now to Buldere. Buldure goes back. And a hammer for Jurgenssons, and that is a first turnover. That was a little bit too high for Bruno Jurgenssons. Budinj gonna pick up with the disc. Back to Mikulica, who is calling a foul, and Podema accepts that immediately. However, that did kind of stopped the offensive flow of Ventspils. Mikulica was looking for Malderis, but Malderis was not available. Now Mednis, Malderis, back to Mednis. And Mednis into the end zone with a long pass to Mikulica, and that's a first break for Ventspils. First break for Ventspils. Salaspils gonna need to turn it around if they want to stay in that game. But before you break, first you need to hold. And that might not be easy against this Ventspils side. Ventspils had to kind of look for some extra players, as they were not sure if they're gonna have enough male matching players, so they had a couple of pickups. And yeah, so far they are looking pretty good. Elksnit is now on the far sideline. Can't really find any options, still count rising. Jurgenssons finally goes up line. Back to Elksnitis. Hammer to Karklinch. Not an easy take for him, but not a problem. And no, nothing's available. Looked a little bit zony, and Orlovska is giving an evil eye to her brother. And Pastora now elevates to get another break for Ventspils. Wouldn't be surprised if Salaspils would be calling a timeout, and the horn clearly informs us about the timeout. Yeah, Salaspils need to refocus here if they want to stay in this game, as they have conceded 2 breaks in a row now. Plus Ventspils have started an offense. So quite a deficit for Salaspils, but I'm sure they can pull it back. Knowing the depth of this roster and these players, and also the chemistry between them, I'm sure it is more than possible for them. Salaspils probably going to need to put power line after conceding a few breaks. So we got Kasina, Jurgenssons, Podema, Buldure, and Karklinch. And for Ventspils defense, we've got Malderis Mednis, Dudina, Krumina, and Weber Landmane. Female matching players are handling. Looks like for Salaspils, and Gasina with a throwaway. Looks like she grip locked this disc, but that did not go the way she wanted, and that gives a very short field for Ventspils. High discs for Mednis. Quite some contact from Karklinch, but Mednis, basketball player mainly. Not a problem for him, he's probably used to it. Now Weber Landmane. It's the disc. looking for options and finds Malderis in the end zone. That is 3 breaks for Ventspils. So 4 points in a row for Ventspils. 8-4. And that was not a break. That was not a timeout, actually, previously. That was a halftime. Apologies. As we've had a 7-4 result. So, yes, half at 7. Regardless, there was a short break for Salaspils to talk about what they're going to do. And looks like that talk also worked for Ventspils as they've managed to score another break on the trot. Poduma to Karklinš. There was a call up for Callahan, but Podgurskis could not elevate as high as Karklinš can't teach all. Poduma to Karklinš, another swing, and Karklinš looking for options, goes back sideways to Elksnitis, so working handlers right now. Orlovska, back to Karklinš. And Karklinš almost got hand blocked, but Orlovska managed to pick that up and save that disc and save the possession. Orlovska can't really find anything, goes back to Elksnitis. And into the end zone for Buldure, and that is a beautiful, beautiful layout for Buldure. She's not really happy about that disc. There was a lot of squeaking on the floor, probably got a few scrapes on her. Quite an unpleasant landing, of course, on the hard floors. However, still, they managed to hold loads of pressure from Ventspils on that point, as after 3 breaks in a row, they are probably feeling this game a little bit more than Salaspils, but let's see if Salaspils will manage to put some defensive pressure on Ventspils and get a few holds break. Jurgensons with the pull. A little high. No, not a problem. Podgurskis decides to play through. Malderis back to Podgurskis. And Podgurskis into the end zone for Pastore. So not that much pressure from Salaspils in that point. And now Salaspils once again need to hold to stay in this game. Let's see if Ventspils will try to cook something up defensively once again, as it worked for them in the previous points. Malderis with the disc, getting ready to pull. Male matching point. Karklinš, high take. Gonna get us started on offense. Jurgensons, Elksnitis. Near sideline, and Blade into the end zone for Jurgensons. That looks a little more like Salaspils quick flow. Not a long time to think about it, just take the free options and execute, and yeah, that looks a bit more like Salaspils flow. (9-6) is the score. Still, Ventspils are leading by 3 points. Dudina to Mikulica in the back of the end zone, now finally getting out of there. Podgurskis with the disc. Late to Skudra. Skudra probably going to be looking something, but goes across to... Goes across and then into the end zone for Mikulica. So Gundaga Pastore with a nice reception, and yeah, good to see some camaraderie between two different teams. Of course, many of these players have been playing together or against each other, so nice to see some camaraderie and helping hands after some unpleasant landings, of course. Pastore, second female matching point. Karklinš once again, probably not gonna sub for the rest of the game. Elksnitis with the disc now. Back to Karklinš. Karklinš probably gonna ask for a replacement disc. And after that quick replacement, probably that disc got a little bit warped after hitting the floor for a few times. So Karklinš was the disc, and finding Podema into the end zone for nice, easy, advancing upline pass. 10-7, so still trailing by 3 points and needing 4 breaks to win. Do Salaspils, and just 3 points for Ventspils to win this game. So Ventspils clearly have a much easier task in front of them, and plenty of time. Most likely it's going to be a game to 13. We are of course playing the cap +1 rule, so soft cap, and we'll talk about what it is if we need to. We'll see. And Mikulic are gonna signal that disc is a little bit too high. I would agree with her. And a bit of an advantage and a nice advantageous position in the middle of the field. So Mikulic gonna go sideways to Dudinya and Podgurski to Skudra, far sideline, and a scuba to Podgurski's beautiful throw. Skudra, very quick player, and also he doesn't really think, like he sees the spot where he wants to put the disc, and he knows that some of his players are gonna go there. If you've seen our stories, there was also a beautiful layout from him from last year. Great chemistry with between many Ventspils players, especially a notable absence on the Ventspils squad, Girts Zakis, as he is actually captaining the juniors team at this tournament. So Ventspils are actually fielding 2 teams for this tournament. So if you want to see Ventspils junior play, don't go anywhere after this game, and it's going to be another very exciting game, I'm sure. Back to this game though, Salaspils are still holding, and finding the net, unfortunately, is Buldura. Quite upset with herself. She had a few options to go back, but that gives great opportunity for Ventspils to get another break. But that is an errant throw, and Elksnit is going to pick that off. I'm going to go to the other side to Jurgenssons, and Jurgenssons to Karklinš. Dudinya and Podema are still discussing that previous point, that previous occasion with the turnover. But Salaspils are managing to hold, and Salaspils looks like going to call a timeout on the field, as they need to muster up a few breaks to themselves, as Ventspils only need to hold a couple times or a hold and a break to finish this game. So not surprised to see Salaspils asking for some time. And Ventspils looking like they're ready to play. So we got Skudra, Dudinya, Podgurskis, Pastore, and Mikulic as their offensive line. Let's see who's going to go on the defense. I'm pretty sure that Karklinš is not going to sub out for the rest of the game. I did not see Imants Ilgars for Salaspils at all during this game, so probably just learning, as it is quite a high-stakes match, probably for the lead of the pool. We'll see, of course, what Saku's gonna bring. We haven't seen them yet. Ooh. That was some contact. Definitely could hear that. Good to hear that everyone's fine. And Karklinch also asking Podgorskis if all good. But Salaspils managing to get one break back after loads of pressure, of course, on the reception from Podgorskis. And I think it looked like a slap on the head, but I think it was more of a slap on the hand. But Podgorskis did not really have a chance to get that disc, so yep. And the score is 9-11. 9-11 emergency for Salaspils. They need to bring that back. They need to get a couple more breaks. 7 minutes, so most likely going to be a game to 13. Podgorskis and Mikulice getting us started. Dudinya now coming back to Podgorskis, being pushed back in their own end zone. Skudra now getting free, the far sideline. To Pastore, and Pastore. Oof, to Dudinya. Once again, loads of pressure. Not the most pleasant thing to be marked by the huge figure of Karklinch, but looks like they are doing pretty well. And Dudinya not worried about her own body, just throwing it around. Just doing it all for a piece of round plastic. But it is a point for Ventspils. Another hold. 12-9. Good to see that Gundaga is alright. Getting up. And no problem for her. Salaspils needing to get a break, but before they break, first they need to hold, and Batman is gonna pick up the disc. Gonna start from the brick marked by Edgars Budinš. Karklinch now, it's the disc. Back to Batmanis, to Podama, and Batmanis once again, almost like he didn't expect this disc, but still well handled, and a hammer into the end zone for Jurgenssons. Looks like Malderis did not expect that Jurgensson's gonna cut that way, but all good. Nice to see the smiles and the friendliness on the field. We are, of course, once again welcomed by the stadium halls of Ogre, as we're kind of used to traveling to Ogre, as it has lots of great venues, indoor venues, outdoor venues, whatever you need, whatever your sporting needs are. Podgorskis to Skudra, marked by Elksnitis. I thought Elksnitis might actually get that defense, but no. Budinš now with the disc finds Mikulice. Ventspils can close this game if they get a hold here, and Budinš now to Skudra find far sideline. Fakes but finds Mikulice and Pastore. No, not initiated, and this time she is, and Budinš to Pastore for a 13-10 hold. A great point, great game. Ventspils looks like, by the end of the first half, they just went firing, and with the 3 breaks in a row, Salaspils managed to get a break back, but only one, so still, virtually 3-point lead for Ventspils, and congratulations to them. We'll see, of course, what Saku's gonna bring to us. They are arriving a little bit late. Their first game is going to be at 2 p.m. local time. So don't go anywhere and go watch another Ventspils team taking on Valmiera. It's going to be commentated by Maris Lukševic as I'm going to go and warm up for my own game. Thank you for listening and don't go anywhere. Stay with us.